Hi everyone, it's Allison here, also known as Lasan Faye, and I'm here today with the final Zen Doodle with me video for the month of February, because as you can see we only have 3 days left, and so with this video I'm going to fill in those days, and I will be back probably around midweek when the next month's challenge gets released to do those as well. So, and as a reminder, this is all for the Zen Art Challenge, which is hosted by Heather, and we have a Facebook group, which it will be linked down in the show notes below. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the final 3 tangles for this month. The first tangle for this week is I Can This, or Acanthus. It's spelt a little bit differently, but it's based upon the Acanthus Leaf, and is created, I believe, by Constant Contact, who I will have the original post linked in the description below. So let's go ahead and dive into this tangle. I'm kind of going to draw this on an angle to maximize the amount of space that I have. So start with drawing a curved line, and from that curved line you have a couple of lines that sprout off of it. That. And from there, at the tip of each end that we see, except for a very bottom end here, we kind of draw this, it's not quite a triangle because the sides are a little more curved, but it's kind of like a little carrot, or radish. Yeah, I'm gonna go with radish shape. And I mean, you could make these as curved or as straight as you want. Whatever you find easier. The way I'm doing it is I'm starting on one end, and I'm curving up towards the point, a little bit of a reverse Z, and then continuing that shape back down on the other side. Alright, so that gives me all my little leaf tips. And so from here, the directions next say to create some little U shapes around the ends of these leaves, or these leaf tips. So, U. Alright. So, now that we have added in all of our little U shapes, the next step is to draw squiggles to connect these lines. And these squiggles can be jagged, they could be curved. The idea, though, is that you want all of these things to connect to each other to form one solid shape. Alright, and so that actually gives us the full leaf shape. And now, up to personal preference, you can add some shading and filling in to really emphasize some of the corners. I'm going to skip that step, mostly because I actually am happy with how this looks as it is. but feel free to shade in however you want. And that being said, I'm going to move on to the next tangle. The next tangle here that we have is My Swing by Simone Menzel over at Sim Tangle. And let's just go ahead and dive on in. So with this one, where I recommend you start is by drawing a curved line. And maybe make your curves a little bit deeper than what you usually would, just to emphasize some of the shapes a bit more. So from here, we start at one of the tops of the curve, or like where the curve is turning around. And from there, fan out a bit, and then come back in. And we build off of that initial fan out by coming off a little bit lower from the top and coming back in. And again. And let's do it one more time. All right, and once we've done that enough times, we can add actually a little pearl right in the middle there. So I'm gonna do one more, just like that. And we repeat this, alternating which side we start on. And once you've gone in one direction as far as you can, go ahead and do the other direction. So now that I've kind of put all of my shapes in place, and you'll note that in some of the places where I didn't have a start point, I started from the end and worked my way up to there. That is something I do recommend. But now I'm going to add a little bit of shadow to really emphasize where some of these folds end. So that's more or less how the tangle comes out. You can add some more shading as you want in order to give it some more depth. Like, for example, I'm gonna do like down here as we get really close. Yeah, something like that. Just to give it a little more shape and curve. And I'm going to leave that as is, because, you know, too much shading and then suddenly the whole picture goes dark. So I'm going to leave that and move on to the next tangle. And the final tangle for this month is Drawings, also by Constant Contact, so the same person who did Acanthus. And I'm just gonna dive on in. So with this one, where I'm gonna recommend you start is at your circle point, and from there, draw your circle. And as you finish the circle off, just follow the curve out and around and kind of do an elongated S. And just kind of repeat that as you go around. So that's where I'm going to stop. And once you have all of your initial curves in place, we're kind of going to mimic, like, at the very least for me when I was younger, I used to draw clouds this way and do kind of a bit of a scallop. And we're going to do that to close things up. Okay, and from here, we're going to start at our circle and draw lines that connect out to all the points in our scallop. And we do that for each and every wing. And at the tip of each wing, we're going to emphasize it by adding a little U shape. That's the end product. Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've ever drawn this one, and I can now see how I want to improve it in the future. But overall, I'm really happy with it. I would do this one again. So I'm really excited with how this turned out. All right, that is it for this month's Zen Art Challenge and this Zen Doodle with me video. I really hope you enjoyed this and all the tangles that came out this month for the challenge. And I highly, highly encourage you to join the Zen Art Challenge if you're not already a part of it. And I look forward to coming back in March to do the tangles then. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.